Song could connect to that many people so quickly on social media, and it had nothing to do with money behind it. It had nothing to do with
Hmm.
a highly produced video. It had nothing to do with some crazy production. You know what I'm saying? It
Yep.
was the song.
Well, a good example of that that the world's seeing right now is Oliver Anthony.
Right? Case in point.
I mean,
Exactly.
that song, it is so good.
It's breaking the
It's
internet.
breaking it.
We actually it's funny you say this. I just was looking him up with somebody yesterday because we were like, "What is happening with this?" He has like 6 million monthly listeners, and that song has like 50 million streams already or
Mhm.
something crazy. And I was like, "He just started." Like, it took me this long to get like, I've had 1 million monthly listeners for the last, like, year, and that's just Spotify, so it's more on
Well,
other
he didn't
platforms,
even
but I was
have a
like, "That's
Spotify. He
crazy."
didn't even have a Spotify before he started.
His Spotify doesn't say Oliver Anthony. It says Oliver Anthony Music.
Oh, wow.
That's how new you can tell he is to it. It's not an Instagram handle. It's like it's supposed to be your name, you know?
Right.
And it's cool though. Like we live in a very amazing era that's the Wild West of music
Mhm.
where the fans can pick what they want.
Well, and when you listen to that song, what I love about it, so I used to love listening to the protest music from the
Mm,
'60s during the Vietnam era and the early '70s. And, when COVID happened, I was disappointed that nobody really wrote a lot about the things that I was experiencing in life.
yeah,
Uh, and I think people were, uh, you know,
afraid to.
yeah, afraid to, and it's so polarizing. And, it happened to Oliver Anthony. Uh, you know, they said, oh, like if you were to read a lot of the headlines, it doesn't match what people are saying.
Mm,
But the headlines are far right, right wing or this, right wing or that, and which isn't
interesting.
even the case. I mean, they did some hit jobs on him, and so
That Aldean song just had the same thing happen to
yeah,
it.
and the Aldine song was more of a I could see why that, like, because Aldine's somewhat political, and
Well, his wife definitely
yeah,
is.
his wife is as well, and, so they're gonna have some people on the other side that just don't like them, even if it's, garbage, thoughts, but, Oliver Anthony didn't, and he had some
Just
right-wing
a song.
people, or I say right-wing, he has right-wing media support him, and, a lot on the left were like, "Oh," because he talks about welfare and, but if you listen to the whole song, I mean, it's about a lot of issues that the blue collar workers can really relate to. I mean, it's so relatable to everybody who's experienced that. I'm doing well now, but I could think of, times when I was growing up, my parents were, we weren't wealthy at all. They
Mhm.
weren't wealthy at all. And when my dad had his accident, I think that we probably could have gone on welfare, and my parents never would do it. They're like, "We're not doing it," and I'm not knocking somebody for having to do that at some point, but I'm saying that
Right.
they always were like they would, I'd say, look down, but yeah, they would look down on people that would milk the system. Had
Mhm.
nothing to do with those that really needed the help, but there are those that milk the system, and
Yeah.
so I totally got what he was saying.
Oh, I can't wait to go look at these lyrics because I've only heard little like whatever, 20-second TikTok
Oh,
clips or
listen
whatever of the
to the
song.
whole
I'm
song.
gonna just pull up a lyric sheet and look at it.
It's
Because I will probably just be very at the end of the day, like I was saying, the reverse of poetry, like finding the poetry in it, it's gonna be cool.
he calls out Epstein.
Really?
Oh, yes, I wish politicians would look out for miners, like, coal miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere.
Shut
Oh,
up.
yeah. We got folks on the street, they ain't got
So,
nothing to eat.
at the end of the day, he's a brilliant songwriter.
Oh, it's one of the most brilliant songs I've
Interesting.
heard in a long time. It was 3 days in
Can't
a
wait to
row
listen.
of my life before bed. Laura was out of town, so sitting there all by myself in my bed, watching these, at night before sleep, watching, the reaction videos to people, couple hours a night, 3 nights in a row, just because I enjoyed it,
Wow.
so I liked watching every walk of life from white, black, Latino, watch the video from the first time, left, right, and see them impacted. I'd say about a quarter of the people cried, maybe 20% of the people cried, just first time watching it,
Really?
because the lyrics are so impactful, you can connect to it, which was the polar opposite of what the media was
Wow.
saying,
Mhm.
that it was, I saw one headline the song that's dividing America or something like that. What do you?
Mm,
No, actually, who's dividing America is the media writing those headlines. This song isn't dividing America. Like they're the
interesting.
enemy for saying stuff like that because this song is actually uniting. And if somebody in the ivory tower and the bureaucrat from Washington D.C. or intellectuals from a lot of the colleges can't connect with that, they had their philosophical idea of what it's like to be poor or what it's like to
Mhm.
be black or what it's like to be
Right, right.
marginalized. But no, he's
There's
actually
statistical
talking.
analysis
Yes,
of
yeah. It doesn't
right.
land with the average person who actually gets it, and that's why I love the song. And now he's coming out. I'm gonna say against the right wing media. No, it's not the right wing media. The Republican presidential debate played his song, and the politicians were talking about it. He's like, "I'm talking about you." He's
Yeah.
like, "Well, don't act like y'all are, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
on
All
my side.
saintly, right.
I'm calling you out." So
I think a lot of it could be that the country music genre is not usually a super charged politically genre. The hip hop genre is.
mhm,
So when a song comes out that's political in the hip hop genre, it doesn't make as many waves
mm,
because it's just so common. But country music's so much more about like family, lifestyle, and just storytelling about kind of I would say more of this like specific personal experiences, not the big picture political world
yeah,
experiences. They're a lot more of like vignettes about this moment on the farm or this moment in the bar or this living room. It's not a politically charged genre usually.
yeah,
Everything in the last couple of years is crazy because I don't know. I feel like COVID did make people realize that if you politically charge something, it sometimes will have better clickbait or whatever. But still, for the most part, it's a bigger deal when someone does it in this genre because it's less common.
yeah. Well, I mean, he did it, and he wasn't trying. Like he recorded that song in the woods when somebody it was a
How? Like,
this West Virginia. I got like a gnat here. Uh,
you crying? You wiping a
yeah,
tear
wiping
away?
that tear.
Yeah.
No, there was a I forget the company from I think it was West Virginia, but it was like a group that goes out and films artists of West Virginia playing. So it was the first time he said it was the first time he ever sang in front of a good mic. And he did it
Wow.
acoustic and just belted it. And the
Was
Richmond
that the one where there were all those thousands of people who showed up?
no, that was they showed up after
Okay.
his
Okay.
that
Because I
that
saw
song came
that
out.
video clip or whatever on
Oh
social
no,
media.
we'll listen to the song when. I wish we had our TV thing going here because I'm like Julia, watch this.
Listen to this. Yeah.
But yeah, Richmond, north of Richmond. That's Richmond, north
North
of
of Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia.
Uh-huh.
DC, and it's a protest song. That's what I'm saying. So I loved those protest songs during the Vietnam War. You could connect with them. They had remember one. It's 1, 2, 3. This is at Woodstock. 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me. I don't give a damn. My next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Oh, there ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. And so that was you could
Whoa.
tell the emotion of being drafted to Vietnam. My dad was drafted. And so that's speaking on real issues. They're going off to war for nothing at the time. Being drafted, we're forcing you, if you don't go to war, you go to jail. And then at the time, the wealthy people, they would get out. Bill Clinton got out. They
Mm-hmm.
dodged the draft. Or the really smart people. I don't know if Clinton
Right.
had a lot of money, but
You
those
find some loophole.
those yeah,
Yeah.
they find loophole, but poor people or regular folks, they're getting drafted, and then they're being sent back in these caskets. And that's part of that
Oh.
song too. So that the song hits on all that, and so the old protest songs. I mean, I've been like waiting for something like Richmond, North of Richmond to come out because I'm like, thank God somebody he put into words what we've all been feeling. And that is, living in a new world with an old soul. Like that's how I feel. I feel like that's me. A lot of people can connect with that.